What's up, guys, and welcome back to another Josh Chat. Alright, enough being silly, I want to talk about something serious that goes on every day in America, and if you don't believe it, I'm going to tell you anyway because it is true, and it does happen. If you haven't heard about the shooting of Philando Castile was a black male who got pulled over for a regular traffic stop. The officer comes up to the car. Mr. Castile immediately tells him, "Hey, I am a licensed gun owner, and I'm just letting you know that I have a gun in the car." Which is what you're supposed to do when you get pulled over by an officer and you own a gun and the gun is in the car, right? I'll just rewatch the video and not literally a couple seconds later after the officer told him to, get his license and registration, he opened fires on the guy and kills him. He shot him while his wife and his 4-year-old daughter are in the car. And the reason I'm bringing this story up is because this happens a lot. Like, you see people of color, especially males of color, get pulled over and they could be doing nothing wrong, and stuff like this happens all the time. And you might argue the case, well, it happens to white people too, or any other race. But I'm talking about the color of my skin being a benefactor to us getting shot. Philando Castile had no criminal record. He did nothing wrong. He complied like he was told to, and yet he was still shot, which is what I don't understand. And what gets me is he was shot. The officer went to court for the incident. The video clearly shows that he was in the wrong, and yet he got no penalty. He got no time done. He wasn't fired. Any of this. So I'm going to explain to you some things I was told growing up as a kid by my dad. I was told whenever confronted by police officers, make sure you always comply. You listen, you do what they tell you to do no matter what. Even if they are breaking the law and you know they're breaking the law. Because the reason being is they truly do not care for your life. I was told this very young, at the age of 7 if I'm not mistaken, that officers had no problem with killing me. Period. Just because of the color of my skin. And as a child, I never truly understood that. I was like, how can I be killed for the color of my skin? But it does happen. In this case with Philando Castile, it shows that. With me having a biracial child and me growing up in these situations, it truly scares me to be pulled over. And people would think, a lot of people tell me I'm overreacting. It won't happen to you. But that's not true. I've been pulled over many times for nothing. And I'm terrified to be pulled over by any cop, black or white, because the way the system's set up, it's against me. It's to put me in jail, I feel like, or to kill me, period. And this video shows that even if I do the things that I was taught to comply and obey and do what they tell me to do, I still could be shot just for being black. The officer claimed he feared for his life. In what sense? In what manner did you have to fear for your life? The guy already told you had a gun, which is what you're supposed to do if you're pulled over. He was doing everything you said, but yet you opened fire on him. You had no disregard for his family. His 4-year-old saw him shot multiple times while she was in the backseat. Found out her father later on died in the hospital. And when I think of that story, it hurts, man. It makes me think that one day I could be pulled over with CharlieSkyy in the car. And I could be doing everything I'm supposed to be doing to not get shot and still be shot. My 7-year-old could watch me die from a police officer who is supposed to be protecting us. And it's hard for me to teach her that police officers are there for you. They're going to help you. But you see so many cases where they don't. Especially to people of color. Of any color. I'm going to say brown skin because it happens to many different races. I believe something needs to be done. Like this. Cops should be held accountable for when they make mistakes like this. There should be a better system because clearly even our justice system does not benefit us at all. You see a man clearly in the wrong and he gets no punishment whatsoever. Just the other day we were just going to the dip and I had made a right turn instead of the left to the dip. And so I was getting ready. I pulled into the parking lot to get ready to turn around. And sure enough, a cop drives by. And I don't believe this is just me being paranoid. But he pulls into the same parking lot as me, follows me through to where I was turning around. I turn and go right, and he then follows me to go right. Keep in mind, I had just made a wrong turn. He made the exact same turn to turn into the parking lot with me to see where I was going. To me, what made me look more suspicious than any other car that just drove by you? Is because the color of my skin. And that's what I believe, and sad enough, it probably was true. I live in a predominantly white neighborhood, if you didn't know. And so to see an African American male is unusual. But at the same time, I live here. I pay bills here. I go to the same gas station every day. They know me personally. I know they have kids. I talk to them. I conversate with them. I even make it a point to speak to officers, even though I have a deep fear of them, of that something might tick them off that I might say or do that could get me arrested for no reason. Even just speaking my mind, and speaking my mind could get me shot, even though that's freedom of speech. Something's got to change, y'all. You could be ignorant and say, oh, it doesn't happen, or take it for what it is. Understand, it happens every day. I'm not saying police officer lives don't matter, because I want to trust in police. I want them to do their job, and I support them. But at the same time, it's hard for me to support a system that does not benefit me, does not help me. If anything, it'll get me killed or locked up. And I don't even have to necessarily be doing anything wrong is the problem with that. I don't even know how to end this, y'all. It's time for some change. Or things between citizens and officers are just going to keep getting worse. Like, there needs to be some retraining of non-lethal way to subdue people. Like, something needs to change. And if you don't think this is of color, and you just think that was just in one incident, let me give you an example. 2 people here recently broke out. I don't know their names. I just read the article real quick. 2 white males broke out of prison, stole a car, stole guns, killed 2 guards on their way out, tied people up in their own home, and yet somehow they were subdued without being killed. And I'll give you another situation. Not too long ago, I'm not going to say any names because it's already passed, but there was a white male college student who raped a female at a party. Guess what? If I'm not mistaken, he got like 6 months of jail time. And the reasoning behind that was the judge did not want to ruin his life because he was an athlete at the school. Really? Because not too long ago, a similar case happened to a black male where he was accused of rape. And if I'm not mistaken, he got a couple years in jail. The justice system is failing us of color. And you wonder why there's so much hate towards officers because of situations like this. And now with social media, you can see it. There's no he say, she say. There is clear video of wrongdoing and nothing's being done whatsoever. So America, I want you to open your eyes. I want you to look at the facts and understand racism exists. Current policing is modern day slave watchers. I'm just being honest. So I'm not just bashing officers. I'm bashing the system that they are placed under. So I'm going to leave you with that. And if you don't believe race plays any issues in police officers, tell me why in the comments. I would like to have an intelligent conversation with you and help you understand my point of view and things that I've gone through in my life and have seen. And so if you like this video, if you like the information, give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, whatever you so choose. Subscribe if you want to. We would love to see you come back. We post stuff every day. And I love y'all. And I hope none of y'all have to experience some of the things I've had to experience in my life. But yeah. But on the brighter note, here's my theory. In about 100 years anyway, race won't even exist. We as a species would intermingle so much. It would become a point where race will never be defined. It would be too hard to define race. Because everybody will be mixed. And to be honest, I can't wait for those days, y'all. Because I think once race is out of the way, we as a human species can grow. I think we can focus on the important things like moving our technology forward and not so much war. So yeah, good night. Love you. See you next Tuesday.